Welcome to the Pens and Stuff podcast, where we talk about Penguins stuff and some news pertaining around the league. I am your co-host, Alex Rastari.
I'm your co-host, Chris Craycraft.
All right, let's jump right into it. So the Pittsburgh Penguins in the 2018-2019 season, what are our thoughts on them right now?
To start the season, we were actually at 500, 10-5.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we've made some changes, as in trading away Carl Hagelin, getting Tanner Pearson, which was a huge move.
Yeah, great move.
And just rebounded from how bad we started off, and we've gone up to 25, 15, and 6, which is 13th in the league. And at one point, the Penguins were actually down to around, I'd say, 27th.
I think the lowest we were at was 20, yeah, in
around
between.
there.
It was 25 or 27, yeah.
Yeah. And we've been playing some pretty good hockey. Right now we're in a little slump, going out to Cali and losing a couple here.
Yeah, but the Western road trip's always
we're
tricky.
Playing some good teams there. We're playing the Sharks, which are a solid team, and Anaheim's always tough to beat in their building.
Oh, and we did it.
So
that was a great comeback, down 3-0 on freaking Daniel Sprong.
Daniel Sprong coming back to haunt us, of course.
Of course, like we knew he would.
Exactly. Every player that we play against will score on us. So
Robert Bortuzzo.
Yeah, some guys that only score one goal in 15 years score against us.
Chris Kunitz, first goal of the season.
Exactly.
This year.
It's just you just got to expect it.
Still can't beat the Blackhawks.
Exactly. After it's been 10 games now.
10 games now. And the last time we beat them was in 2014
with Fleury internet. So
yeah, I read an interesting thing I read comparing the rosters on Twitter the night we played the Blackhawks, and I think the only two players that are still on our team, because Malkin wasn't in the lineup that night.
I gotcha.
Was Crosby and Letang.
That's amazing.
Oh wait, was Letang in the lineup?
I'm sure he was in the lineup.
No, because he was injured that year. Actually, I forget. I don't have it up with me right now, but I want to say, because I know the starting line was the first line. Listen to this. The first line of that game was Sidney Crosby in center. Left wing is Chris Kunitz. Right wing is Lee Stepniak.
My goodness.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, hey, that's what
wild.
That's what Crosby does so well. He makes the people around him better hockey players.
I mean, look at Connor Sheary. I mean,
exactly.
Kind of an. I mean, we'd call him above average.
I mean, with the Sabres, he's been doing
better.
He's been doing a lot better.
But he's been playing with Eichel.
He has been. He's been playing with some good players there.
But I mean, look at Jake Gensel. I mean, I'm not that guy that says, "Oh, Sidney Crosby got Jake Gensel a $30 million contract." I'm not one of those guys, but he certainly helped.
Exactly.
He certainly helped.
Yeah, we're right now in the second wild card spot in the standings, behind the Canadiens with 2 games in hand on them.
And we are behind the Island. We are tied with the Islanders in points, but they have a game in hand on us.
Yes. So the league is obviously really tight.
Oh, the East
is tight.
The East is always tight.
The only team that is pulling away right now is the Tampa Bay Lightning, because they've got a stacked roster as usual. And they usually do well in the regular season, but we'll have to see what we'll have to see what they do in the playoffs.
We'll see what they do.
Yeah,
well, let's move on to some of Jim Rutherford's magic. Last night he pulled off a trade, sending Derek Grant to the Anaheim Ducks. It's a 1-for-1 trade, sending Grant to the Ducks, and in return we get Joseph Landisi. So Jim's got to go to bed. That trade was at 1:30 at night. I was literally about to go to bed, and I see it pop up in my Twitter notifications.
He's just brushing his teeth and getting his stuff ready to go to bed, and she's like, "Oh, let's just do this real quick. Let's make a 1-1 swap here."
He's just feeling it. I mean, it's the early bird special for the
exactly.
He's going to the early bird special at 4:30 at a restaurant, and then he's like, "Yeah, let's make a trade at 1:30."
Yeah,
wow.
That's the perfect time.
And Joseph Landisi, for some stats, over his 74-game NHL career, he has 8 goals and 18 assists, 26 points total. That is spread out against the New Jersey Devils. Actually, no, all those points came with the New Jersey Devils. He's played 6 games total between 2 seasons for the Anaheim Ducks. with no points.
Exactly. And Anaheim did not give him a chance in the National Hockey League at all. Only giving him 3 games per season there.
Yeah, I mean that's you can't test a guy enough. But he is having a great year for the San Diego Gulls. My bad.
Yeah.
He's actually their captain.
I gotcha.
So we got another captain in our organization.
Exactly. That's just what we need.
Sidney Crosby and Joseph Blandisi.
Absolutely.
So I
a lot of his points are coming on the power play, so it seems like he's on the power play line. He was on the power play line for the Devils for the majority of the games he was playing.
Yeah. Well, in the 2015-2016 and then the 2016-2017 Devils, they weren't very good.
Absolutely, which reflects in the plus minus.
Yeah, minus 14 in his rookie season, which was the Devils being one of the worst teams in the league. That's the year they got their the first overall pick in the draft.
Yep.
The 2016-2017 season, it says he only has 27 games played, and that is because whenever he was involved in the Adam Henrique trade to
big trade
to Anaheim. Oh yeah, huge trade, and he was just a piece of that trade. But I mean, then he immediately went down to the San Diego
to AHL, yeah.
The AHL.
Yep.
Right.
And it looks like he's racking up some penalty minutes as well.
Yeah, he's definitely
playing some games.
He's kind of a grinder.
He is.
He's definitely a
which would be where he would be on the Penguins. He would most likely be on the fourth or third line.
Right. Yeah, and that's something the Penguins kind of need. They need someone to drop the mitts. We can defend Ashton Reese or Hornquist and stuff.
He gets too hurt too often. Ashton Reese.
But I mean, he's looked good this season.
Yes.
I do like his play. I think he's definitely a force in the locker room.
Looks good on the penalty kill.
Oh, for sure.
Solid on the penalty kill.
For sure. No, but so Joseph Blandisi, welcome to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Hopefully we actually use you. And it's good that we got Grant out of here. The Anaheim Ducks desperately need a shakeup. But speaking on the trade talks, let's go over some of the stuff the Penguins need for the trade deadline. And a lot of the rumors that are going around right now are Derek Brassard, as we know, or the current, I guess, third line center.
Yes.
Hasn't really played the way we thought he was going to play when we acquired him last year from the Ottawa Senators. So we know. But apparently we are looking for another third line center in return, so kind of like a swap. Who do you think would be a third line center we're interested in?
I mean, I can't really think of too many third line centers that a team would be willing to give up because
they're valuable.
They are valuable, but Brassard can be a potential second line center. You got to keep that in mind. He is worth more.
That's right.
Than any other third line center in the league, because the two other centers, of course, are Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. So it's going to be hard to think of an equivalent trade there. It could honestly even be 2 players for him.
Yeah, I could very well see that. Now, what I thought of is, and this is just me, I don't know, it's just speculating and stuff. Is getting Nick Bonino back from the Nashville Predators. I think that would be something because I mean. We get Matt Cullen back, and he's not necessarily playing great.
Yeah,
but he's a force in the locker room, and everyone loves him. And I think Bonino was a huge part of that in our locker room. And I'm not even saying we get him back necessarily for his play, but he could be a serviceable third line forward, and he's a playoff animal. As we've seen, he was great in Nashville last year.
He's big in the show. He's really big in
the
playoffs.
Oh yeah,
in the playoffs he comes up big.
For sure. So I was thinking him, but this is in no way going to happen. But I was thinking about getting him and Rocco Grimaldi from the Nashville Predators. I'm not sure why I couldn't think of their name, but Rocco Grimaldi, he's definitely a good young player, kind of a very gritty player. He could be fast if we want to. He can. He's not really known for his goal scoring, but I think the Penguins need a little bit more speed and grit, and he's definitely got that. So I think that would be a good addition, along with Bones, to get our locker room chemistry a little bit up.
That speed factor again is something that we've lost over the past couple of years.
Over the past 2 years,
losing Hagelin and Sheary, they brought a whole different type of game.
Even like players, small players like Kuhnhackl.
Yeah,
we lost him, and there goes some speed. Even though we didn't play him too much, but yeah. Another player that the Penguins have shown interest in is Michael Furland, where the Carolina Hurricanes want to trade Michael Furland, and I guess they do, allegedly.
Yes.
And the Penguins show interest in him, and I actually think that would be a great addition to the team.
He would be a good asset to the penalty kill as well.
He is definitely a very gritty player who can score goals. Guy. He's like a nicer Tom Wilson.
He is, yeah.
Also, fuck.
Put it that way.
Fuck Tom Wilson. First off, that's what we should have named the podcast. Fuck Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
Should have made an entire podcast around fuck Tom Wilson.
Exactly. I totally agree.
So I think Furland would be a great player. I believe he's a winger. I actually look that up right now. But
he's a big guy that can be a big force in front of the net too as well.
Yeah.
As long as he can finesse some goals too. But he'd be a better guy in front of the net.
He's a winger. So, and he shows that he has great playoff success with the Carolina Hurricanes. Calgary Flames. He in their 2014-15 run. He was a force in that series against the Vancouver Canucks.
Mm-hmm.
He scored big goals and he had a lot of hits. He would hit literally everyone that moved that was wearing blue.
Anyone that had the puck.
Anyone that
didn't have the puck.
So I think he would be a really serviceable player in the Penguins lineup. Exactly. And he's a locker room force too. That's a lot of what the Penguins need.
They don't have too many enforcers, to be honest with you. That would definitely add to it.
Yeah.
Add to something that we don't have.
Yeah, but I don't think we necessarily need an enforcer. I think we need role players that aren't afraid to drop the puck, but the speed has to be an issue. I love Ryan Reeves, but we did not need him on our team last year. What we needed a gritty player that could drop the gloves, but I think Reeves was too small. But not small, not a small guy.
Anything but small.
Yeah, no, I think he was too slow. And not to trash on Reeves because I know he'll probably come to my house and beat me up, but I love Ryan Reeves for him.
He's been a great addition to the Knights there.
Oh my god,
great addition.
He's
makes the Knights even more fun to watch.
Beats up Tom Wilson.
That's what else could you get?
Exactly.
What else could you ask for there?
All right, so we're gonna go down the Penguins roster right now, and we are going to give. We're gonna
give some gradings. To the players here this year. The first.
Yeah.
First, a little over half of the season.
So let's do that. First off, we are gonna go. It's alphabetical.
We can go alphabetical.
So we're gonna go Zach Aston Reese. What are we gonna give this fella?
I think that Zach Aston Reese so far, in his season from coming back from a broken jaw, I'd give him a solid B-.
B-. Okay, I think I can agree with that. He's gotten 11 points in 30 games.
Because he's been a threat on the penalty kill, and he's been doing some great things there. 5-on-5 too.
He's got that shorty.
He has been doing pretty well too.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Zach Aston Reese deserves to be B-. I mean, he could be better, but I don't know. Okay, we're gonna go with Derek Brassard. I'm gonna give him C-D. He's played 37 games and only has 14 points. That's unacceptable for what we gave up for him.
And what we expected from him.
And that's not necessarily his fault. He doesn't really mesh with our system too well.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give him a D because of 14 points in 37 games.
So far, that big trade that we gave up for him is not necessarily working out in our favor.
Not at all. No. Okay, Captain Sidney Crosby.
That's hard.
Really tricky. 55 points in 43 games.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna give him an F. This is unacceptable.
Yeah, you should have like 105. Come on.
Yeah.
No, Sidney Crosby's been playing extraordinary again.
Time in and time out.
Coming back from all the people saying he can't do it anymore and how he can't produce at the level that he always has been, and he still is. He's leading his team in 55 points right now. So he's been playing. Playing really well.
Above point per game per usual. Sidney Crosby, I give you of course an A. All right, Matt Cullen, Dad.
Our dad.
Our dad. 11 points in 35 games. I'm going to give him a solid C+.
Maybe even a B-, just
Maybe
because of
even
the
a
role he's
B-.
playing on the team.
He's not... Yeah, I mean, his role is fourth line player, and he's only had 35 games, so 11 points in 35 games isn't...
For a fourth liner, it's not too shabby there.
Not too shabby. I mean, obviously, room for improvement, but... for what we brought him in for, I think he's doing exactly.
And the contract that we gave him, he's definitely worth the money we gave him.
Oh, so, for sure.
Not a big contract there, because he's reaching the end of his run.
He's 3 points behind Derek Brassard too.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I think that's great. Jake, the Snake
freaking Gensel.
Oh boy, what a season he's having! 44 points in 46 games, almost point per game. He's got 23 goals.
23 goals, leading the team in goals there.
Which
is huge, which is something obviously we weren't gonna expect obviously from the beginning of the season.
No, I mean
he's been on fire as far as putting the pucks in the net.
I mean he could get 40 pretty easily because considering the season's a little over halfway over, he can easily get 40.
Yeah, and when he's on fire, he scores multiple, if not hat tricks.
He was the third star of the week last week. Yeah. And it showed he got 5 goals in 2 games.
Yep, that's right. That's impressive.
That is nuts. So, Jay Gensel, I give you literally an A+ for how much, and he is well deserving of that contract.
Exactly.
I give him an A+.
We needed that contract for him.
Yep. Patrick Hornquist, what a guy. What a guy. Super sweet.
Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. He's got 26 points in 34 games, but he has had a lot of injuries this season.
He has been injured, and it's impressive that he's still putting up the numbers after he's coming up from an injury, too. It's hard to do that, to stay consistent in your game when injuries are preventing you from playing.
Right.
So, I mean, right now, Patrick is looking at it like a B+, maybe even an A- if he stayed healthy.
Health definitely is a concern with Patrick.
The grade is holding him back with his health. That's about it.
Yeah. I love Horny's play. You could definitely tell him whenever he's in the lineup and when he's not in the lineup.
A lot more fire in the Penguins game when he's in the lineup.
Right. All right. The hot dog man, Phil Kessel. Yay. 51 points in 46 games, and the Pittsburgh media portrays like he's having a horrible season. He's not the right fit for the Penguins. We should trade him. No, he has 50. He's above point per game. He's got 18 goals and 33 assists, on pace for another 30-goal season. I don't see the issue with this man. I always hate the trade rumors that come around him. I'm giving him a B+ for this season so far.
I mean, he's a great force on the power play, but the only time I will have a heart attack when Phil Kessel is on the power play is when he is the last guy back, or if he's on the point, because he does tend to fumble the puck up. And we've seen a couple times this year where they've had breakaways.
We'll lead the league in allowed shorthanded goals, but
especially on the power play. But other than that, Phil just keep shooting, my bud.
And we know what we brought him in for. For what he's playing, I give him a A+, B-. So, Evgeny Malkin, I think the stats says that he's not really having a lackluster season. He's having an average season, but after watching him play,
stats don't always tell you how he's playing.
Right.
In the actual game, you got to watch what he's doing in the game.
Right.
That's how you really determine how he's been playing.
And he's been in the game is just lackluster. I feel like he's not trying that hard to get to the puck. He's lazy when he has it.
He's not looking for the passes that he needs to make when he does make a pass. It can be a blindside pass, which is
he's had a lot of
what you
those.
want. A lot of those are in the power play, which is why, again, we lead the league in shorthanded goals allowed. And
Absolutely.
We can't just keep hitting that on Malkin. It's been multiple players on our team.
And the only reason I'm griping on Malkin and not like Kessel or something is that this is out of character for Evgeny Malkin. He should be the guy that's ferocious on the puck. He's really just going for it.
Use his body and protect the puck the way he always has. But, this year it's just been a little different story here.
Which is interesting. I'm going to give him a B- because the stats, he's showing up on the stat sheet.
Absolutely.
And he's not really doing a good job. Although, what is concerning is that he's a -16.
That's a big concern there.
That is quite a concern, but not a big deal. I'm going to give him a B- for 50 points and having a B minus, that's a little shocking. Tanner Pearson.
What a great addition that he has been.
I'm very satisfied. I didn't expect too much from him once we brought him in. He had, I think, 2 points when we got him, and now he's got 14. 14 points in 47 games played, which isn't necessarily great in the slightest. But for the role that he's playing, I think it is good. I think that he's been tremendous on the Penguins, and he's not showing his true potential and what he was really brought in to do in the league. I might add, but as a third line depth player,
as a third line player, he's been playing well, and he's on the second power play line as well, so he's serving his roles there. I mean, he's scoring some really nice dirty goals up front.
Yeah, and he doesn't take a lot of penalties. He really does not take a lot of penalties, which I've noticed.
Yeah, he has as we've seen, he has a really nice solid clapper. I mean, he can really rip the puck when a goalie's not expecting it, and that's also something that we could use.
Yeah, so I give Tanner Pearson as probably a B minus.
I'd say a B. Yeah.
Yeah.
B sounds good.
Kind of a mid B.
Yeah.
Mid B for what he's brought in to do.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go Brian Rust with a horrible start to the season.
Absolutely terrible.
Horrible start to the season.
Yeah.
He has turned it around, and he's got 22 points now, 11 goals and 11 assists. In December, this man was unstoppable.
He had the fire on his stick blade. He was putting pucks in the net.
Ever since that hat trick against Chicago, oh my gosh!
Even though we lost that game, obviously, because we haven't beat the Blackhawks in a while, but he still scored it. What do we have to do to beat the Blackhawks? I don't know.
Pray to the hockey gods, I guess.
Yeah.
Which we'll do. I'll do it.
Yeah.
He's a +6, which is great. Doesn't take too many penalties, and he's got a shorthanded goal too. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I guess so. But yeah, I mean, he's been his second half of the start that he had. I mean, the start that he had was
horrendous. But
it,
now he's looking like the old Brian Rust.
He had to get the monkey off his back, and when he did, he sure didn't look back.
I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited.
He's Mr. Game 7.
Yeah. I give Brian Rust a B, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Riley Shahan, not overly impressed with him this season. No.
So far he's been kind of working around the fourth and third line center position for the Penguins. Right now, he's honestly looking like a fourth line center. Maybe even.
I think that's where he stays. He's only got 8 points this season in 45 games. I think he should be doing a little better than that.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been on the PK and when it matters, and I think Pittsburgh has a pretty solid PK this year. With I think they're 5th in the league. If I'm not mistaken, I'll look that up real quick.
Don't know that off the top of my head, but
I think they're in the top 5 in penalty kills, so that's... Just kidding. They're actually tied for second.
Wow,
in
penalty
kills,
so that's nuts.
So he's a big part of that. Nothing against Riley Shahan's stats, but he's not showing up on the stats, but his play on the PK is something that has been a difference maker.
Yeah, his PK is definitely a strong suit, and that's why I'm gonna give him a B-. But he should be more... When it's 5-on-5, his play is not there. I don't think.
Yeah, his play.
I don't think his transition game is.
It's not what we expected.
I don't think his transition game is necessarily great.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I'll give him a C+ on that because he is a good penalty killer. All right, Dominic Simone, one of the most overhyped players I've ever seen.
Again, a player that feeds off of Sidney Crosby's energy.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I thought he had a lot of hype.
I mean, he's a good player. Like, don't get me wrong, but he needs players like Sidney Crosby to be on his line.
Yeah.
If you want to see like production from him,
he can't make a play like himself.
He needs a difference maker on his team,
which is upsetting because he's jumped around the first few lines and he's only got 18 points to show for that.
Exactly, and that's the majority of the points he got for being on the first line at the beginning of the season when they struggled.
Now, what do you think of the option of trading him? Because I don't think his trade value is necessarily too high.
No, it's not too high right now. It's because he's a newer player in the league. He hasn't been around too long.
Right.
But I mean, we can still benefit from him if he is on the third line.
Yeah.
Grinding out. Because he can still make some plays. He just has to have a good He has to have good wings and have some people to finish his play.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him. I mean, for his role, he should be doing better. I'm gonna give him a C minus. I feel like for what his role is as a top 9 player,
Yeah,
he should be doing a lot better. All right, now on to defense. We're gonna go with Brian Dumoulin.
Brian Dumoulin. He has been a surprise this year for sure.
He's been great. Not only on, I mean, like he's not a goal scorer or a points.
He doesn't rack up the points, but he is definitely being a positive when the puck is going in the net with a plus or minus of 26.
26,
which is impressive.
One of the best in the league. He's our best defensive player. I give him an A.
Now, yeah, for what he's doing, he is an A. For what we expect out of him, for what he's given us, it's definitely an A.
And now we're gonna go to my favorite player on the Pittsburgh Penguins roster,
Mr. Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson.
Jack freaking Johnson.
I hate this guy so much. I think his contract is the worst thing ever. He's horrible with the puck. I
hate to say it, but
yeah, he's garbage. A horrible signing. It's one of the only things I disagree with Jim Rutherford has done. But we're not gonna count the whole 2014-2015 season because I disagree with everything he did that season.
Exactly.
But
I mean, the only strong part in his game is really protecting the puck and using his body against other players.
Yeah, he's a great hitter, but that's about it. He doesn't mesh with our team that well. I give him a D. I don't like Jack Johnson.
Yeah, Jack Johnson's a big D.
Sorry, gang. Chris Letang, what a season this guy's having. Oh my, Chris
Another
Letang is
all-star
back.
appearance for this guy.
Yep, 39 points. 39 points in 44 games as a defenseman. That's great. 11 goals, which is incredible. All-star. I mean, what more can you say?
Again, another all-star, but he fits into that little column of players that have given the puck up a lot.
Yeah. But he's got a good plus minus and everything. I really think that
other than his sometimes his carelessness with the puck and passing to the wrong people, or even giving a blind pass, or just giving it up while he's on the point,
right,
that leads to another shorthanded goal. Other than that, he's really playing to his potential.
Yeah, I think he's having a much better season than last year. I give Chris Craycraft, not Chris Craycraft.
Not me. I'm not too good. I'm not good.
I
can't be in the chow.
Yeah.
No.
No. I give Chris Letang an A minus.
It's a good grade.
Oli Mata, one of the worst starts I've ever seen by a Penguins defenseman, but he's looked a lot better. He's got 11 points in 45 games, but he never really showed up on the stat sheet too much. But from his play recently, I think he's looked a lot better.
Yeah, he's been on the PK or the power play a couple times.
Yeah, and he looks good on the power play. He's got 4 points on the power play, but his start was horrible. Gave up the puck too much, horribly defensively. He's definitely turned his game around though for the better, and for that I'm going to give him a C.
Yeah. If not for his terrible start, then it could be an upper B, B plus.
But he had a horrible
his play. At the beginning was not good.
All right, now for the big rig, Jamie Alexiak.
Let's go.
6'7", he's 6'7", Jesus.
He's a big dude.
36 game played, 11 points, 4 goals, 7 assists. I did not expect to see him on the stat sheet at all.
He actually had a great start with goals.
Yeah,
he scored a lot of goals in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, which is something I didn't really expect. He was one of our better defensemen, which it probably is a problem on our team if he was one of our better defensemen. But things have really evened out now. He's not playing too bad. I would give him probably like a B minus because he does have his tendency to. I mean, he's a slow player. He doesn't really get back and plays too much. But I mean, he's good in the defensive zone. He's not horrible, and he's got a clapper.
Solid B minus there.
Clapper, yeah, B minus. Marcus Pettersson. I have been so impressed with his play. Ever since we brought him over from Anaheim, I have been so impressed. He's got 13 assists, and 7 of those have came with the Penguins.
Mm-hmm. And plus or minus of 12, which is again really solid.
And he's just an all-around great defensive player. He can get the puck out of the zone. I'm really impressed with his play. I'm gonna give him a B plus, solid B plus
for the role he's playing. Even on our power play, he's on our power play, which is impressive.
Yeah, he's occasionally
Made his
on the
way
power
under
play.
there, and he just made a good name for himself.
All right, here comes a cliche. UC Ricola. I hate myself so much. I really hate myself. 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points in 23 NHL games. I think we should play him more.
It's
don't really
just a hard
care.
situation.
I know.
It's hard with us because, we give the guy that is struggling the most the contract that we gave him,
Jack
kind of
Johnson?
forces us
Jack
to play
Johnson.
him.
Yeah.
Jack Johnson.
Which is unfortunate because I don't like him, and why it makes sense with the talent that is compared between the two to play Ricola, and he's young.
I mean, he has a ton of potential,
But
they're just.
I
Not
mean, I
giving
would
him a
rather
chance.
play Ricola, and he's looked good in the games that he's played. He's looked shaky at the beginning, but he's really found his own playing in the games that he has.
Once he finds his game,
I give him a
he's
solid
gonna be a
B.
game changer.
I give him a solid B.
His stats aren't showing it, but
It's not. It doesn't all come all down
on the rink.
It doesn't come down to
You can
stats.
you can see what he brings.
And we're going to go to goaltenders. Matt Murray. We'll start with Murray.
All right. Well, you saw the beginning of the season
That
with
was
him.
It was absolutely.
I don't think I've seen a worse start to an elite. Not, I wouldn't say elite, but one of the.
He could be
He
elite.
could be elite, but
He was
one of the upper end goalies. Start out with pretty much a 4.0 goals allowed.
and he was .888 save percentage.
Exactly,
Well, I think was one of the worst I've seen.
That's like inline hockey goalie numbers. It's just
It's pathetic.
it is something for the Chell to see.
But
I mean-
since then, since he's came back from injury, he's been lights out.
Yeah,
I think
he's been playing
8-1,
really well.
8-1 since injury. Mm-hmm. Insane, and he's bumped that .888 save percentage up to .911, which is impressive. And his goals against average is down. It's still around 3 though, which isn't very good. But it's not. It isn't the best.
It's not in the elite caliber, but we can.
It's definitely
We
a
can say-
starter.
we can
but
say
it's
that
been
it's
better.
really good.
He's been better, and he's been a rock behind our team for
If we
this win
take
stretch.
if we take his goals against and save percentage from when he came back, that is unreal.
Yeah, no.
That would be an unreal
Since
stat.
I'm gonna give him 2 grades since he came back, A. But at for that start, I give him
An F. An F.
yeah. I'm not. Yeah,
Because
I'm not-
we had to. I would say an F because we had to go to Casey DeSmith, and we will talk about this guy right
Let's
here.
talk about him right now. He was the glue that we needed for whenever Matt Murray was
we were
injured
struggling.
and struggling, and he's the one that stepped up and played great. He's got 12 wins and 8 losses, 4 overtime losses. So he's not playing too bad.
Not too bad.
But his save percentage is .921, which is better than Murray's, and his goals against average is 2.53, which is much better than Murray's.
Which is impressive.
And he deserves that 3-year contract that we gave him. I think
He
I
does,
think he's
and
played outstanding. I really think he's been great.
Yeah, and 12th in the league, and goals against, and in save percentage, he's actually 7th in the league. So
Yeah,
not bad for a backup goalie there.
not bad at all. Great backup goalie stats, and so I'm gonna give him a B. A B for sticking
Yeah,
with
even a
us
B
and
plus.
B plus. Okay.
Yeah.
No, and props to Casey DeSmith. Came from not
he had
a
to
lot.
start. Yeah, he had to start
With the Wheeling
all the way
Nailers.
throughout the Penguins organization with the
Which is-
Nailers and work his way up
which is good for
because
him.
of what happened back in college. But
Yeah.
I mean, he's worked his way back up. It shows that he is definitely worthy of playing in the big show.
Yeah, he's definitely showed himself that he can actually hang out with the NHL
He
players.
can real bring it. He can bring it
Yeah.
whenever he needs to. So
Yeah.
just good to see.
All right. Well, I mean, that's the team. We
That is the Penguins.
that
so
is
far.
the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that is our podcast for right now. Hopefully, we got more coming out.
Hopefully, we can talk about some more teams throughout the league, and who we think that could win the cup.
Yeah. Right now, we're gonna go over our cup predictions, and then we'll wrap things up. Right now, my cup predictions are in the West. I'm going to get judged for this. I am going to get judged for this. I really see the Calgary Flames just somehow coming out of the West.
I mean, they're playing really well.
They're playing really well, and usually I'm like, I mean, I get it. Riddick isn't necessarily like he's been playing great, and most people would say like, oh well, I don't know how he'll be in the playoffs, but I'm going to say Calgary.
I mean, Calgary's second in the league.
Are they actually?
Yeah, I mean they're showing up. This year they're showing up.
Yeah, no, they're really doing good. So I'm gonna say Calgary, and then it's tricky. I don't want to say the Penguins because right now I don't think that they'll go to the Cup because I think the Atlantic is just way too strong. I'm actually gonna say Boston.
Boston, all right.
With a healthy Boston lineup, I think that they can actually go through Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And they're obviously Toronto's kryptonite.
Exactly.
And then I think that if we play the Bruins in a series, I think they beat us, which is unfortunate because I think the Penguins can get through the Metro.
They should have no problem doing that.
I think that we can get through the Metro. Washington will obviously be tough, but I think we can get through the Metro.
We usually go through them anyways. So,
yeah,
and
really.
We usually have a good chance to win that series when we play them.
But I don't think we can get past the Bruins, the Lightning. But I'm gonna say the Bruins beat the Lightning this year, so that means the Bruins go to the Cup.
Gotcha.
So that's my 2 Cup predictions. Chris, go ahead.
Alrighty. In the West, I have the Sharks coming out.
The Sharks.
I have the San Jose Sharks coming out of the West and making the Cup Finals. Because of their play lately, I mean, they've looked like a Cup caliber team with Erik Karlsson finally clicking in with the system. That is some scary stuff.
It's not fair.
It's not fair with Brett Burns and Erik Karlsson being on the same freaking team.
Nope.
So,
two best.
And I mean, their offense has been doing great for what they have.
Yeah.
And I just see them coming out if they keep playing like they are right now. And in the East
is tough.
The East is tough to talk about if you're not picking the Lightning. If you're not picking the Lightning, then you're just in a cluster of just teams that can take over that spot.
Yeah.
But right now I'm thinking the Lightning. I think this after
it's
all
hard
these
to argue
years,
with that.
After
it's
all of
really
these years,
they
have not been able to make it to the Cup Finals. I think this might be the time they actually go.
It's hard. It's
hard.
It's tough to argue against that
because I mean, they have pulled away by almost 10 points from the second place team,
which is insane.
It's absolutely,
and that's in the league, right?
They aren't even in double digits in losses, which is incredible. And that's
always a sight to see.
Yeah.
Halfway through the season and you're still in single digit losses.
Yeah,
that's definitely a sight to see.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm gonna think it's gonna be the Lightning and the Sharks as of right now.
Hard to disagree with that. Yeah, great. Yeah, I think that's a good prediction right there. So I guess we'll see at the end of the year.
We will see.
See how ridiculous we sound.
We'll see how stupid we sound once the end of the season comes.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it we got from us right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
thanks for great. Thanks for listening to this podcast. Appreciate you guys all coming in to listen.
Yeah.
This first one.
Yeah, so hopefully more come out, and hopefully you guys actually like us.
Yeah, that's another big part there.
Do you guys actually like us?
Do you like us?
All right.
Alrighty.
Well, we'll catch you guys later.